All right, welcome back. So if you're coming back and you're, a previous viewer, you already know that I'm always looking for some kind of, better mousetrap, if you will. So what we say in America is just a better way of doing something. Now, along with that, usually comes with a cost in terms of, you have to kind of be a what they call a tinkerer, someone that just doesn't accept things the way they are, and you might have to get your hands dirty a little bit. And matter of fact, often it requires some kind of ingenuity, if you will. All right. And so one of the things with the MPC, which I do like that kind of workflow, and making the expansion system, fits that particular ecosystem pretty well, actually. Again, it took a lot of work to do it. But what if you want to use plugins, let's just say other instruments and VSTs, in the MPC software? We can obviously launch a plugin and then use your keyboard and mouse, whatever, to launch sounds. But there's another way to do it. But again, it takes a little bit of imagination or tinkering, if you will, which is to use the complete control. Now, obviously, you got to have the minimally own the software and own the hardware. And if I highly recommend the Complete Control Mark II series as opposed to the Mark III, at least for now. And mostly for now, because I don't believe that the Complete Control Mark III, because I had sold mine because it just wasn't working out for me, it's just not capable of doing what the Mark II was truly designed for. So, native instruments will have to sort of live up to that part. But what I'm showing you today, I did try to work it on the Mark III, and it does not work properly that way. What I'm about to show you, you just can't do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to launch my third-party plugins in the MPC software, but I'm going to do it through the wrapper of Complete Control. Okay, and by owning the Mark II hardware, it's going to allow me to interface with all my, not just Native Instruments plugins, but third-party plugins. So I'm going to launch an instance of Complete Control, which I just set as my default VST in the MPC 2.15. So automatically you can see it's already loaded. Hopefully you can see this, an instance. And I'm going to go, instead of going into the Native Instruments plugins, I'm going to go into the third-party VSTs that are not supported by Native Instruments. Okay? Because why would we want to just use Native Instruments stuff? That would be boring. So I'm going to go to a D50 sound. And so, more than that, and by the way, I don't want to go too off topic because I can cover this in another video. The metadata in the actual program itself is where the secret sauce is. It's not the file location. It's not a secondary base file that you have to access within your system folder. It's actually inside the program itself. So this bank information is all inside the actual program itself. It's important to know that because I'm gonna leave a link to freelance Sound Labs, and they sell a lot of these third-party VSTs, these NKS adapted plugins, but then a lot of them are not on there, and so I'll show you an example of some that I've done myself. The easier thing is to support the developer Jason over there, which I've had several conversations, whatever, correspondence with through email, and talk to him about the work he's done. But he's not going to make the NKS adapters for all plugins, so it's important to understand that you can do it yourself as well. Maybe in another video I'll show you how that's done. Okay, so important thing, and this is MPC software related. So the MPC software 2.15 is not does not have Mackie control in the protocol. Okay, I don't know if the 3.0 has it or not, but it's important to understand that because it doesn't, if you want to interface with multiple instances of complete control, you want to have a complete control Mark II, at least to the best of my knowledge of right now, which is going to allow you to manually address multiple instances through the controller itself. So let me just go load another instance and I'll show you. Okay, so I've got another instance here. I'm on plugin number 2, and you can see it already created and it's aware. So if I go to here, I'm going to go into, let's go into Spectrasonics. And we'll go into Omnisphere. We'll go into Factory. Now here's what the Complete Control Mark III doesn't have. Again, there's another thing it doesn't have, and it really is important. This feature is actually very, very important. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different sorting, like sorting metadata. There's a name for that in the tech field, but 7 sorting fields. And without the subbank that's actually was originally sourced for the original complete control, without the subbank, you wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing now, which is showing multiple banks from different libraries within the one plugin. Okay. So here's Atmosphere right here. Here's the hardware library. Complete Control Mark III doesn't have that. Very frustrating. I was actually very mad at Native Instruments because I was able to adapt the plugins myself so that it would show properly on the Mark III, and it just fell short. Okay, now the amount of work that it takes to get all these presets, it's a lot of work. So I don't know if there's some kind of machine language that they're using to make this process a lot faster. When I made my own, I did one preset at a time, so I'll show you in a second. But let's get into multiple instances. So the Complete Control Mark III doesn't have this feature, so I wouldn't be able to use it in the context of the MPC software. But because it has this instances button, see, I can go from one plugin to the other Complete Control plugin. And if I add another plugin, like this, okay, so I got plugin number 3. If I go to instances, I got 1, 2, 3, right? Again, so I go into here, browse. So I'm going to show you a plugin that I did. So we'll go into user. Okay. And we'll go into Tune Track. So this is one I did and we'll go into here. And then we'll kind of end this for now. So this is Easy Drummer, kicks and snares. Okay, and so that's an example of one that I had done here. Again, I can go from one kit to another, or one bank to another. Okay, so this is sort of just more of a global look at how you can integrate third-party plugins within the Complete Control. Again, it's kind of cool because you're sort of unified into one protocol of working. So in the MPC domain, when I would use mostly my own expansions, if one day I just want to kind of browse the Triton presets and so forth, I have that capability. But in the upcoming next video, I'm going to show you how to customize all that and make that even more specific. And that might interest a lot of people, especially people that only want to have like a custom library within an actual plugin library. So an example would be having Omnisphere, but only having 175 sounds that you like the most show up in the database, and it's all pretty easily possible, actually, to do it. So stay tuned to the next episode. Until next time, everyone, peace out.